Good morning. Coffee Talk has officially ended. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yay. We ready to go? Everybody get a good night's rest? All right. Awesome. Good morning, all virtual attendees. Hello. A couple quick announcements. First of all, just for the virtual attendees, so everybody else close your ears. Your incentive program starts today. So if you visit the NGBC website, you're going to see your incentives on the virtual page. Use your password to get in. And there are incentives for you to spin, including spinning the virtual prize wheel. So today, if you purchased over $400 of merchandise and email me your receipts, tomorrow morning we're going to spin the wheel for you and videotape it and send it to you. So you are able to participate with the fabulous prize wheel. I want you to check your badges real quick. If you have a black ticket in the back of your badge, that means that you paid to come to the Royal Affair tonight. That's going to be in the Royal Salon. Starting doors open at 7 or 7:30. What does the schedule say? 7. Awesome. That particular room that we're going to be in tonight is where all the high-class dignitaries used to smoke back in the day. Doesn't smell like smoke anymore, but that's where we're going to be tonight because we are high-class dignitaries, so I figured that is very appropriate. Right? Okay, great. The design competition has officially opened. After Claudia's talk this morning, you can pick up a vote slip back at Client Services and vote for first, second, and third place in each category. And we've got some pretty fabulous designs back there, so I'm pretty excited about that. And what else did I want to tell you? Please shop, 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 shop. Spend all of your money, your kids' money, your kids' college education, and do what? Thank you, Alex. And every last cent that you have, please spend it in the trade show today and tomorrow for me. That would be awesome. Thanks so much. And somebody left this. So if this is yours, pick it up. This is our lost and found section. We have it on the stage. That's awesome. Okay, I think we are ready to go. Let's do this. Claudia Johnson, we are so ready. Do it. We are so ready for you. Oh my gosh. All right. Claudia is the owner of Exclamations Gifts in San Diego and is fabulous. So we're super excited to have her talk and chat with us today about the keys to success. So please give me a warm welcome to Claudia. Do you want this on the stand or do you want it on the stand or do you want to hold it?
All right. Sue's going to get my PowerPoint going. Isn't that the way it goes? Things happen, right? So while she's getting that, okay. Let's see what's happening. But Coffee Talk ran a little bit longer, which is great because you got a lot of great questions answered. So let's just take a minute to get that going. Meanwhile, I've got your attention. How many of you are home-based businesses? Awesome, so that's primary. How many have storefronts? Wow, fantastic. And how many warehouse? Okay, we've got everything across the board. It's always fun to see. And then I want to know how many people have been in business for 2 years or under? Just a couple. Awesome, welcome. And how many 10 years or over? Excellent. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, thank you. So, okay, there we go. Okay. So, since I'm asking you all the questions, I'm going to carry on and, oh gosh, that light is, Sue, is that going to, there we go. Okay, that's better. Thank you. How do you define success? Just shout it out like a word. What's success mean to you? Pay the bills. Prosperity. Peace of mind. Having your clients love you. Living your passion. So, pardon? Contentment, Giselle says. Thank you. Well, all of those things are how I define success too. Starts with passion. And the success can be family. It can be friends. Success comes at different seasons in your life, different meanings. So today I'm going to start with my story. Many of you know my story, but Debbie's asked me to share it again with you today because it started very unpredictably. Is there a question? Okay, so it needs to go smaller to bring the, yes. Okay, thank you. You could chop my head off, right? There we go. There we go. And then, okay. So we each have a story. When did you define success? When did it start for you? How old were you? What do you remember? Go back in your mind. For me, success started when I was a young girl, and I remember being a campfire girl. This is my campfire girl outfit. My mom found this in her garage a couple years ago. She said, Claudia, I found your campfire girl outfit. I go, Mom! And I never had children, so I never got to dress up a little girl or do anything like this. So, well, I wish I could. I wish I could. But you know what? But the campfire girl outfit means so much because it takes me back to my childhood. It takes me back to loving being part of a team. It took me back to all my accomplishments and all the different beads because I remember being young. This was in the late 60s and 71 and 72. And I truly remember going, I want to go to my campfire girl meeting. I want to put my vest on. I want to show up. I want to, shine. And I remember wanting to work hard for every single bead. I wanted to go to every event. We could put all of us into this outfit today. But the funny thing is the blouse says $250 and the little hat said $1.50. Things have changed a lot since then. So, so I just wanted to share that with you because, go back to where you were and where you all started. And then remember, and then for us today, we're all showing up. We're supporting the industry. We care. We're passionate. We love what we're doing. Those are so key to getting started and making yourself successful. And for me, I didn't know I was creative. I was always a corporate gal. I was working for a home builder. The company went from 160 employees to 12, and I was the 12th employee standing, and the company was continue to wind down, and so then I was let go. And I thought, I was 1 year married, and I told my husband, honey, I don't know what corporate direction I want to take. I have no idea what I want to do with the rest of my life. And so I collected unemployment because I worked since I was 16, and I accrued my unemployment. I thought, you know what? We're going to be moving. What do I want to do? I took my life very seriously. And on a Saturday afternoon, I was shopping with my mom. I was taking her home, and there was a florist going out of business. And I said, Mom, let's go and check it out. Let's see what they have in there. I've never been into that florist. And so we zipped in there, and I walked into the left, my mom walked to the right, and I saw this entire wall of wicker baskets. And they were burgundy with accents of gold. And I thought, oh my gosh, these are gorgeous. Well, the year is 1993. There really aren't too many gift baskets, and there are not too many gift businesses. And I wasn't creative since Campfire Girls. And you know what? I forgot that I had any creative blood in me because I was corporate. And so I just stood there looking at this wall of wicker baskets, and I told my mom, I am going to start a business, and I'm going to start a gift basket business. Now, I had never made a bow. I've never really seen a great gift basket, and I've never received one. So it was just crazy. And so I went home and told my husband that I was going to start a business, and he also thought I was crazy. And how many people think you all are crazy? Because you want, yes, exactly. So, but you know what? You believe in yourself, and you have a vision. And so I had $200, and that's how I started my company. And I remember that last unemployment check, and when I bought those wicker baskets, And I bought those enhancements and the things to put in my baskets. And I didn't know how to buy wholesale. I didn't know how to do all these different things. But eventually I learned I asked people. So I want to encourage all of you to ask people questions and show up to the coffee talks and just, engage with one another. So I was proud of myself. I said to myself, I'm not going to ask for any help. I'm just going to do it my way. And so that's pretty much what I did. And to this day, my husband is pretty much a partner, but he supports me because he allows me to do what I'm doing, and he's proud of me. But he has his business, and then I have mine. For me, I love it like that because I'm a super independent woman. And I remember sitting at my house. We were living in a condo at the time, and we had a guest room. And the guest room was my first office. And guess what? TV tray was my first desk. So there you go. I remember walking in there, sitting at my TV tray. I couldn't wait to get to my TV tray, my first desk. So you know what? That's how it started. For me, I would just show up there. It was before computers. It was before everything. I didn't even have tablets of paper. I had scraps of paper. It is absolutely hysterical for me to go back to the beginning of my business. But for each one of you, you know what? Remember your story. Remember where you came from. You know what? You'll be so proud of yourself. And take these as small accomplishments, because each accomplishment is a key to your success. So I was at home for about 4 years. I worked on the kitchen table. I worked on my TV tray. And then we had some friends over for dinner. And the lady came out of the powder room, which was the guest bathroom. And she said, "Oh, Claudia, it's so fragrant in there." At least, fragrance, good thing. And I said, "Oh." And she goes, "What do you have in the bathtub?" Well, I couldn't bring the bathtub here today. So just imagine a bathtub. So this is like the bathtub, and you have the shower curtain across here. Well, I had to use the whole bathtub and fill it up with all my products, up to the shower rod. Imagine having a Snoopy guest. Imagine. I'm sure we've all had them in our homes. So Snoopy guest pulls the shower curtain back and sees all, ta-da, all my stuff. And she goes, and my husband said, "What, the bathtub?" And that was my boot. That was the boot for me to get out of my house. He said, "Enough. You've taken over the bathtub. You have taken over the hallway. You have taken over the kitchen. Claudia, you need to get a space." And so guess what? I'm strong. I can do it. Just like all of you, you can do it. So I got in my car. No computer. Got the yellow pages out, let my fingers do the walking, and I found a rental space. And I had thought this over, and I asked each of you to think about your space. Well, Deborah is so excited about having her new storefront. It's going to be fantastic. And last year I was able to visit Terry in Hollywood. It was exciting to go to her space. I was in the neighborhood, and I got to stop over. So think about what's important to you and where do you want to call home. When we work so hard, we spend so many hours on our business, and it's key to be proud of where you are. It's going to build you up. If you dread where you're going, you're like, "Ugh, I don't like that," or "Ugh, that's not my style." You know what? Make it your style. So I remember when I got my first space, it was 500 square feet, and I was so excited. And there I am by myself. I had signed a month-to-month lease because I thought, well, it's September. Okay, I'll be in this space for till January, and I'll go back home, and I'll bring all my stuff back to the bathtub and all my stuff back to the kitchen table. Well, I was in my space, and then I went to Save On and bought my first work table for $12.99, and that was a little aluminum table, double the size of my TV tray. So now I'm really getting big, right? So I was standing at my little aluminum table. It was so low, and I thought, this is not going to work. So then I thought, teaching you all to be resourceful in your business growth. So I thought, what can I do? I can't afford to go buy desks and everything else. But back in the 90s, the real estate recession was happening. A lot of people were losing their businesses. A lot of people were selling off their office furniture. So there were liquidators. This is a great key. You can find liquidators in your area because you could take your, so what I did was I bought things that somebody else had in their office, and I repurposed it. Welcome. Hi, Marilyn. It's great to have you. And so that's what I did. I went and I bought all this office furniture, but one of my major keys along the way has been to be debt-free. So if I could not pay cash for it, I did not buy it. I never wanted to have a loan. I never wanted to be like, "Oh my gosh, how am I going to pay it?" I think when you really burden yourself with a lot of debt, you can never experience this joy that I have, that I can always say, you know what, I did it debt-free. Sometimes you have to take out a loan. It's business, and you need to advance it, but be responsible with it. Take out as low as possible. Pay it back as fast as possible. Along the way, I always saved. Whatever order I had, I'd always take something, and I'd bank it. So I don't want to just be always rolling my money into just my business. We're business ladies. Business makes money. We want to be successful. So I would save my money. I remember when I was in that little 500 square foot building that I couldn't afford a copier, you know. And so I thank you so much. I would go down a couple doors down, and I'd say to my neighbor, can I borrow your copier? And he says, you know, I said, I'll give you chocolate. So guess what? For 1 year, I couldn't afford a copier. I bartered it with chocolate. So you know what? Be creative. I couldn't afford a Visa terminal. So I used his terminal. And I said to my clients, guess what? You're going to see, let's just say ABC on your statement, okay? Because not going to say exclamations. Because I didn't say, because I can't afford a terminal. I just said, you know what? This is my processor. They don't need to know. Sometimes less is more. They don't need to know everything, right? You always want to be professional. So they said, no one ever had a problem with it. Then guess what? I could afford my own terminal. So these are the baby steps. And I know some people have asked me, like, I just want to be big. I just want to do it. You know what? It has taken me, look at from campfire girls to TV trays to aluminum tables, let me tell you, step by step. There is some people that have the overnight success stories, and it does happen. But realistically, they're in a position where most of us just aren't because it's location, it's your county, and things like that. So take it slow, grow it organically, and so my business, my 500 square feet, I never had to go back home. I eventually grew after a couple years into 1,200 square feet, and I was just having so much fun with all my stuff, and then I got my first employee. Well, I'll talk about employees in just a minute. But then I grew to 3,200 square feet. And then I thought, how much is it to buy a building? I've never bought a building. And I remember when I was shopping for my diamond ring, I thought you could get a huge rock for $500. Let me just tell you, you cannot. So my husband was so funny. I had no idea about how to price diamonds out. I didn't know. So I don't know how to buy a building. But I thought, you know what? Why can't I learn? These are the things I want to inspire you to do. Ask questions along the way. Wonder about it, then research it. Now it's a whole different world because we have the internet. We have each other. You can ask questions. You can just do your research. So I remember one day I was driving to the bank, and there was a sign in the grass, and it said 3,200 square feet for sale. And I thought, oh gosh, that is the same space I'm renting. How much would it be to buy a building? Now, of course, I'm not telling my husband anything. He has no idea. So I called the broker up, and I said, hi, I'm Claudia Johnson, and I see you have a sign in the grass. And the broker said, well, I sold that weeks ago. Well, you know what? That's what most brokers do. It's like a little hook, line, sinker. You know, they've got a live one on the phone. It's a little bait, exactly. So now he's got a live one on the phone. And I said, well, you know what? And, you know, I was younger than I am today. This was in year 2000. And, you know, they think you're a basket case. Really? Like you can't afford anything. You know, I'm sure we all get this. It's a shame. We need to teach and educate our people that we are serious businesswomen, that we're not basket cases. We can be, because if we're at a party and somebody says, what do? I'm a basket case. Well, that's a great door opener, right, to marketing. And they go, what do you mean? That's so funny. What's a basket case? And then you could talk about it. But you know what? Sometimes you want to have that respect, and you want to be looked at. And you know what? You have to stand tall, believe in yourself, and get the respect that you deserve. And so I told the gentleman, the broker, and he's looked at me, and he says, I said, well, this is what I would like. And so I gave him, and I didn't really know because I never thought about buying a building. So he said, let me see what I can do. That building is sold. I'll call you tomorrow. While he was doing his research, I was making a list. I was making a list. What's important to me? What would I want if I could have the dream shop? What would I want if I could have it completely organized, how I would want it? So I made a big list. And because of the sake of time, I'm not going to tell you every detail on my list. But I told him what I wanted. He started laughing at me like, really? And I go, yeah, this is what I want. If you can find it for me, I would be interested in it. Meanwhile, he's showing me upstairs, downstairs, but I said I can't have stairs because I knew that I wanted to have pallets delivered. I had a vision. I didn't want to just to have something smaller. So I went ahead and I said, I'm still standing by my list. A couple weeks later, he called me up. He said, Claudia, I think I've got something for you. And I said, I can't wait to see it. So we met, and this is it. So Sue, here's my first slide. So this is my building that I absolutely love. It's 5,000 square feet. And I remember one of my biggest accomplishments for me was when I found this building, it was not listed. So there I am, 14 years younger, and I'm standing there in a suit, and I'm talking to the owners of the building, an older couple in their 70s, Eric and Janice, and they were lovely. And they looked at me like, you're gonna buy a building again? Yes, I am. And they're like, oh, well, and I started talking, and I just started being myself. And they said they really like me. They go, you know what? They would be honored if I would buy their building. Okay, that was really cool because it wasn't listed, so nobody else is going to be on them, competing for it. And so I remember when I was doing my negotiations, I just have to see if I could point out. It's a little bit, let me move this. It's a little bit, the TV tray can go away. This is the last time you'll ever see the TV tray. So the front doors are right here. There are two front doors. They had a renter over on this side, and I was standing out in the parking lot, and I was with 3 brokers, and all of a sudden, out of this door came this guy, and he comes walking up to us. He doesn't say, excuse me. He doesn't say good morning. He just says, hey, Claudia, what are you doing here? And he's just a little bit shorter than me. And I said, oh, David, you just may be paying me rent. Well, guess what? For 1 year, he paid me rent. He was somebody that I met long ago at my first 500 square feet. This is another key to success. You never know when you're going to see these people again, where they're going to show up. He would stop at my old shop and say, oh, right, you really have a business. This is so stupid. I'm like, and I said, no, this is a fabulous business. And so guess what? And again, like, he was so rude in the parking lot. So I remember one of the best days for me was getting my first rent check from him. Because when I, thank you, when I bought my building, I couldn't afford the whole building. This is when I always say God has a plan for each one of us. Because, you know what? Because I saved from every basket sale, I had 10% down for this building. I had perfect credit because I was always accountable to everybody along the way. I qualified for an SBA loan that fast, okay? And then the SBA only loans you so much. This is a very expensive building in San Diego. And then I know, oh, yikes, I still need more money. Well, guess what? Great relationship with my bank. They loaned me the rest. Then I had some successful years in business, and I paid off my bank loan right away. They were blown away. I'm like, oh yeah, check, done. And this next year, I will pay off my building. So this is my retirement, and thank you. It is truly, I'm up here with goosebumps. I can't believe it, but you know what? I made chunk payments because I want to be debt-free, and I want my building to work for me. So I want it to be, whether I want to stay in business or rent it out or sell it. Right now, I'm still passionate. I'm not going anywhere, but it's really a great option. So then the next year, after Jason paid me rent for a year, my business continued to grow, and his lease came up. And I said, Jason, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to leave now. Ooh, so bye-bye, Jason. So now the whole 5,000, and he was like, what? I'm like, So basket case keeps growing. So I have the whole building now, and it's really exciting. It's super organized, and some of you have seen it, but it's just, I'm just grateful for it. And I thank God for everything. So, and I remember when thank you. I remember when I first had my first check for $50 for a sale, and I called my mom and dad. Mom and Dad, I got $50 in the mail. I was so excited for $50. You know what? Now I've been blessed for checks for over 50,000. I could never, ever imagine that in my dreams. And I didn't have the business plan. Like I was saying earlier, there wasn't a computer, there wasn't an internet. Now, Let's show them. So from the TV tray to this is my desk, my office now. So I absolutely love antiques. Antiques are one of my passions. And so for me, everything I do in my life, I just pull it all together. I always want, like I love antiques, so antiques are gonna follow me. My antique key pin over here, and then this diamond pin was my treat last year. My business turned 20, and this is a pin, thank you. This is a pin that I was at an estate sale, and fleur-de-lis are part of my logo, and I'm crazy about fleur-de-lis and leopards, and obviously you know what I'm crazy about, so I don't need to say. So I was at this estate sale, and then I saw this pin, and you know what? I looked at it, and I thought it was fake diamonds, really, and the lady's looking at me. I have my sweatshirt on, my jeans, and she's looking white trash, probably looking, and I looked at it, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. And I always like to reward myself for my hard work. I like to stop and buy myself just a little something, maybe, so that at the end of the day, I'll look at, like in my kitchen, I have some little things that came from abroad that somebody gave. It's just, they're special memories. Do things for yourself. I'm gonna talk about that when I start my real talk. But like my office, this is me in action. This is not the greatest picture. I had a different picture, but it just didn't want to cooperate. But I have an antique burlwood desk, and I have the cabinets in the back and stuff, file cabinets. They're all antiques. So that's my look. That's what I am. Next slide, please. And so today I'm going to talk about more about the keys to success. And it's investing in yourself, it's investing in others, and it's investing in your company. And if you do each one of them, stop and do it right and do it well. We'll talk about the next slide now. Thanks, Sue. Investing in yourself. So I remember being a young girl, and I'm always about memories, and I love my family. I've been very blessed with a great mom and dad. And we used to watch tennis together in Arthur Ashe and just all those days of the good old tennis games. So one important key to success, is self-confidence. An important key to self-confidence is preparation. So you know what? I can't believe I'm even standing up here before you. I'm not a public speaker. This is not what I do. But you know what? I remember when I was going to all the other gift basket conventions, and I thought, you know what? I always want to learn, how do people get to where they are? What do they do? How do they make it happen? And I went to the National Gift Basket, well, it wasn't National Gift Basket Convention, but it was a convention back in the 90s. And I met Mary Ann and Ben there. And they were teachers. And I remember, and I'm still in awe of them. And now they're my dear friends. And they've blessed me through the years. But how great is that you can meet people in the industry that you really connect with, that really special to you, that, you know what, even when we get together once a year, it's like family. I know for me, when I saw you all, so many of the faces that I already knew, I was so happy to see you. And that brings me such joy. And so we have to be prepared to step away from our businesses. We have to be prepared to make this happen. And we'll talk about that in the keys to success with others when we talk about employees. But for yourselves, you know what? I really want you to be empowered. You have to, don't wait around for others to empower you, really. You have to wake up each morning, seriously, with a great attitude. My husband goes, Claudia, how can you be so happy every day? I said, honey, that's what I choose to be. We're going to choose what attitude you want to be. You're going to choose, what do you want people to see in you? Do you want them to see the light? Do you want them to see like, it's your choice. We're all business ladies. We're all healthy, and we're all blessed. So you know what? Make the choice. How do you want to be? And so for me, I'm always going to be, exclamations, like exclamation points. So woo! I just like to have fun wherever I go. I think you might know that. But also I want to talk about when you invest in yourself, it's being able to say no to others. It's also being able to just really, really say, this is what's important to me. You have to stop and make time for yourself. You cannot just work. You have got to stay healthy, and those are key investments in yourself. You've just got to, I told you I'm not a public speaker like Miss Deborah over there, so I want to get back to my notes here. Let me just see. talking about attitude. And I don't want people, so many people beat themselves up. Instead of beating yourself up and say, I don't have that, or I can't do that, just say, guess what? Pick yourself up. Say, I can do that. I can make that happen. This is so important to do because over and over again, it is so easy just to say, doggone it, I don't have that building. You know what? I know, most people, I know that I've been so blessed, but for me, I live a life of gratitude, and I love to give back, so that's what I like to do. But you know what? Be happy for where you are. Make it your best home office that you can. Where did that water go? Oh, it's so tiny. Okay. And then be authentic. I think it's really key to have your integrity, your values, and be authentic. I'm honest with every single person I ever encounter. I used to always be really nice. I wasn't honest. I was just nice. And now I'm honest. And I think that's honestly the best way to be too, because sometimes people don't want to hear what you have to say. But guess what? At the end of the day, when you look at them in the eye, and if it's a tough, sticky situation, it's okay because they know who you are. They know that you care and that you're genuine. So you know what? There's sadness that comes, and I've had for me, I'm not like standing up here and go, I've had a great life. I've had sadness. I've had heartbreak. I've had depression. I'm not always happy because I've had bad things happen to me. But you know what? I'm gonna get through it, and I'm not gonna let it weigh me down and take me down. It's like I'll cry and I will mourn and I will remember. I remember my dad was fantastic, but I'll always remember that time with him. He was my delivery man. He made it happen. He would come into my shop. He was so proud of his daughter. But you know what? Obviously, I'm still this is my voice from heaven. My husband goes, what happens to you? I go to like another place with my voice. I'm so sorry. It's like I get blown up like Debbie was saying. But you know what? That's how grateful I am. It's people that come into your life, they touch your life, but we're not, you know what? Things happen. So, oh dear, this was not part of my script, let me tell you. Oh, I'm not gonna say, oh, okay, Sue and I were talking earlier. I said, I don't say sorry unless I really mean it. I'm not gonna say it for this because you know what, I really mean my feelings. But how unprofessional, that's gonna take me to the professional. Good job, Sue, good transition. How many people walk around and say, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. You know what? When you invest in yourself, you're not saying so sorry. Stop saying so sorry about things. You know what? If you're late, you're late. If you have to really say sorry for something, that means something bad has happened, and really say, I'm so sorry. Or if somebody loses somebody, you know what? You are so sorry. But just don't own that attitude of saying, oh, I'm so sorry, because it sort of makes you not so professional. And then people want to hang out and surround themselves with people that they enjoy and they want to be with. So that's what I want for people. Just if you do it, don't raise your hand. Just don't do it anymore. Sue and I were talking about that earlier. It's so easy to say, oh, I'm so sorry, like whatever. But you know what? We don't need to do that anymore. Thank you, Deb. Thank you. I know it's just, it's life. And it's, okay, let's go on to the next slide. Investing in others. That's enough about investing in yourselves, right, gals? Are you all going to be investing in yourselves? Are you ready to own it? Are you ready to blow it up? Yeah. Excellent. Okay, investing in others. So this is action is a foundational key to success. Pablo Picasso. Just like Deb was saying yesterday, take action. Just like I've been saying all morning long, you have got to make things happen. You cannot sit around waiting for something to happen. It probably won't. If you're not absolutely asking for the business, it's probably not going to just come your way. You have to take action throughout your life, like I did with my TV tray to my nice desk. You know what? I made all these things happen by taking action. So really that's what I want all of you to do in every aspect of your life. And I'll start with the convention. You know what? We have all these great people. Take action. Connect with somebody, and look at people's style. What resonates with you? Take action to be able to follow up with them and be friends with them. I always think it's fun to just drop a little note in the mail. Let somebody know what you're thinking about them. Giselle's so great. She gave me a little gift this morning saying she's just, Giselle from the Rock and Roll Design last night. Giselle, she's a wild woman over here. So she said, Claudia, I was taught to bring something to people that make a difference or something nice this morning. So Giselle made my day. Thank you, Giselle. Unexpected. And those are the little things, investing in others. Why does somebody trigger you? What is it about that person that makes you want to be their friend? Let them know. Show the love, right? Life doesn't have to always be so intense. We have to really stop and show our love for one another because life is precious and life is short. I want to talk about investing in others with family. You could leave it there, Sue. Thank you. Perfect. With your family. I know so many of us, I was crying about my dad, and so many of us depend on our friends and family for our businesses. That is something that I really never did. I always wanted to make it happen my way. I knew that my husband was not creative. He was not at all. Oh, geez. Hello. Okay. Well, forget the family right now. I'll go to the, well, that's okay. Just leave it up there. What? Okay. That was going to be my next part, but that's okay. I was surprised when I turned around. Right. I just wasn't ready for it. It's okay. It's all good. So talking about your family and your friends. This is not my friend or my family member. But I think it's really important for us not to burden our friends and family. So many of them have so many things going on in their lives. I think if you want to ask them nicely if they'd like to help, you'll find out the real answer. But, I have lots of friends. It's amazing to me that they don't say, Claudia, I would love to come and help you. And they just don't. And so, you know what? Oh, no. Why? What? Oh, my gosh, okay. They don't. And it just, you think that they say, oh, it's so much fun, that's so beautiful, that would be great to have that business. But no, there's no cooperation from them. And then my family, you know what? I remember my parents, I grew up a middle class gal. They couldn't afford, I paid my dad to go on deliveries. But the joy that he had and knowing that I was giving my dad some cash, like he'd go buy his Tootsie Rolls and his favorite things that he liked to snack on, whatever, that was fun. But I never take anything for granted, and I like to give. I couldn't afford to pay my parents at first, but I remember going to a silent auction, and I was the highest bidder on a trip to Lake Tahoe, and I wanted to treat my family to that. So that was my gift to them. I said, guess what, we're going on vacation. It was one of our greatest memories as a family because I want to give back to them. So when people do help you, find a nice way to say thank you. It might not be right away. It's never too late to say thank you. So I think that's a great thing to do. Now giving back to others with your employees. This is my key to success right here, Miss Amy. This is a jumbotron picture here. I don't know. It didn't really look like that big on my iPad. But anyway, so Amy, she's worked for me for 18 years now. She is the director of operations. I empower her every day, but guess what? I don't have to be at my shop every day anymore. This is another key to success where you have got to find a key employee, somebody that will definitely represent you in the light that you're worth being represented in. She was 18 when she came to work for me. She was wearing nylons. She didn't drive. Her mom pulled up in this big Cadillac. She came out. But you know what? You never know where you're going to meet your employees. I met her because of her boyfriend at the 18 years old, his mother over a salad bowl. I was talking to the boyfriend's mother, and she said, my son's got a great girlfriend with beautiful handwriting. Well, you know what? You don't know. Somebody has beautiful handwriting. Do you want your cards written beautifully, don't you? That's music to our ears. So I said I'd love to meet with her. So anyways, Amy has been with me, like I said, 18 years. And I take great care of her because, you know what? She takes great care of me. And when you find somebody that you could trust in and that you could express yourself, your style, your values. You need to take care of them. You can't, and you have to empower them. Like I give her a company credit card. I give her the authority to say, Amy, do what you need to do. Like when I'm here or wherever I am, she's not going to say, can I get this or can I buy that? Buy yourself a printer. Go buy yourself a great printer because, you know, I always want every detail. I'm all about details and attention to details. So guess what? If your printer just died, don't worry about me wherever I am in the world. Get yourself a printer. Make it happen. Take the action. And so that's what she does. So, and also give your employees a title. Amy is the director of operations. She's not my assistant. And I don't call it my shop. Yes, it is my shop, but guess what? She's there every day, Monday through Friday. It is our shop. It's not about me. It's about my staff. It's about my clients. I always think it's like I'm a Christian and I love it. So it's joy, Jesus, others, and yourself. So for me, that's how I live, and I want to bring joy wherever I go. So it's not about me. So Amy needs time to go to her kids to see them in the kindergarten assembly. Guess what? Oh my gosh, you have to get that basket done. No, it's absolutely, you go, you don't come back, take your child out to lunch. Guess what? It's Amy's first anniversary. Here's dinner out on me. Guess what? This is, her mom passed away. Every year I do something for her mom. It was Amy's 10-year anniversary. I got her a big diamond necklace. You know what? It's such a joy for me to do these things because that's why she's with me. People complain all the time. It's hard to even get to this point. I've gone through literally 50 other people just to have another team. Terry's like, yeah. And it's been hard. I've had 50 other employees. And my business has gone up and down through the cycles of the economy. And right now I have 2 full-time employees. I have Michelle, who's been with me a year. And then I have 5 part-time people, depending on what we're doing, the jobs we call in, and they come in like that. And it's always a joy to see them. So then I want to run like a lean, mean machine. Amy and Michelle know what they're doing. Michelle, I've empowered Amy to have her own assistant. I pay for the assistant. And instead of going, ooh, every 2 weeks, this is a drag, here comes payroll. Oh no, for me, it's a joy. I'm so happy. I take my pen, I sign those checks, and it's with joy and pleasure in each one. When I'm at the shop, which I'm not at my shop much anymore, I work on my business, but not in my business, because that's my goal. When I started growing my business, I said, what do I want to do? I don't want to be there every day. I want to be with my mom who's aging. I want to be here. There's other things that I need to do with my life now. And so I know that I could trust these gals. And Amy needed an assistant. So guess what? She's got herself a great assistant. And together they have joy. And then the clients call, come in, whatever, they're happy. So it's a win-win. So, but you really have to empower your employees and show your appreciation. And if they do something stupid and they do something annoying, don't show the face you want to show. Don't do, like, what? You know what? Things get broken. Things happen. And I bite my tongue. Sometimes I have to turn around. That's okay. Or I'll just go in my office later and go, oh my word, are you serious? You know, like that. Whatever. Do it, but don't do it in front of them. Don't make them feel bad about something. And communicate. You know, at first I had to give Amy a list to do. But you have to empower them without like micromanaging every little thing. So you have to know that sometimes what we all expect in the attention to details, their attention to details is fine. It might not be completely what we want, but our clients are going to think it's still fabulous because it's still really great. So, you know what? And then also I want to let you know that there's times when you have to let your employees go. I've had to fire employees. It is hard to do. I had a gal last December 20th, if you can imagine, December 20th, firing a 12-year employee. Oh yeah, this is somebody that worked for me for 12 years that I gave so much to, but I found her stealing. I found her stealing in October, and then I warned her, and I had never had to write up an employee warning, but you have to take it seriously, you have to do it professionally, you have to document these things, so you have to do it right, because you have to keep an employee file. You don't want to just say, well, that isn't right. So I warned her in October, and then my gut, because I do everything from my heart and with my gut, and my gut was she was doing it again. And I said, Amy, I think she's doing it again. And Amy says, Claudia, there's no way because she has a family. And what is she going to do? She needs to work. She was in charge of production. And I've empowered her with a lot of stuff and a lot of responsibility. And so we did our test, and sure enough, she was stealing again. So I was at home on December 20th. I thought that would be a good day to send out my Christmas cards. So y'all didn't get one because I didn't send any out. So I had to go into my shop, and I had to call an attorney, and I had to put something together on December 20th and not give her Christmas bonus and not give her Christmas gifts I had already purchased for her. And I had to look at somebody that I truly loved, and her family that I truly loved, and her kids that I truly loved, and things that I did for her kids. And in my heart, I could start crying right now because those two girls needed me, her kids. She wasn't the best of mothers. She comes from a different culture, and she needs to, their kids live here. They all live here. But they needed to have somebody else, like a mentor. And I was a mentor to those two girls. And now they're not in my life. But that's the action that the mother chose for herself. And she started crying. She goes, give me another chance. I said, I can't. I gave you two. And I don't know how long this had been happening, and it doesn't matter anymore because it's done. And I'm not going to say, oh, poor me. You know what? So she's ripped me off. So it could be, it was financially. It could be thousands of dollars. But you know what? I'm here today, and she's needed it more than I did. So at the end of the day, I'm not going to be, but it's just not the right thing to do. You don't have employees stealing from you. So you know what? The art of delegation, carefully review your labor needs with everybody. Make them feel part of your team. Don't talk down on your employees. Build them up. Like when I go away, I leave $20 for lunch. I do things. I'll leave a little gift for them throughout this different seasons. They have a gift for Valentine's Day. I love you. Just little things like that throughout the time, and it makes a big difference. It really does. So I think it's important to do those things. And now for the next, so we talked, yeah, Amy, next slide. Thank you, Sue. So this is Bill Cosby. I don't know the key to success, but the key to failure is trying to please everybody. So you know what? We can't always please everybody. Just like I said about the employee I had to let go. Just like Jason didn't want to move. You know what? There's a lot of times people in your life, and I've even fired a client last week talking about others. Last week I had a gentleman call. I didn't have him call. He called, and he wanted something that just wasn't going to, I didn't want to accommodate him because he had already sort of, in December last year, he called, and then he sort of was deceitful, and he decided he wanted a full refund for something that I had sent my courier out for 4 times to get redelivered, and I incurred 4 delivery charges, and then he just said, just forget it, I don't want it, just credit my card back. Love of customer service. I credited his card back, and I incurred all those delivery charges. So now he called last week. He wanted something that fast. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. He wanted something delivered tomorrow morning for a client's birthday. And I just told him it wasn't going to happen. It's time sometimes, but you don't say you're a jerk and I don't trust you because you know what? The delivery company slipped this next time last week for the birthday and didn't get it there on the birthday minute, the birthday party. I don't want to have to give him another refund. So sometimes you have to let your clients go. But we were corresponding, emailing, and I sent him an email saying, Paul, feel free to, we can't guarantee the time of the delivery because our delivery company has several deliveries. So if you need to go elsewhere for your gift, please do so. You know what? And he was not very polite. He never said please or thank you in all my other correspondence, and so he just didn't call us. So guess what? It doesn't matter because I don't want my staff worried. We don't need to micromanage people like that all day long. So invest in others, your clients. Sometimes it's time to let them go. Let's see, investing. Okay, next slide, Sue. Thanks. Investing in your company. I've talked a lot about this already through our presentation, but Mario Andretti, we all know action makes things happen. Desire is the key to motivation, but it's determination and commitment to an unrelenting pursuit of your goal, a commitment to excellence that will enable you to attain the success you seek. So this is really another great quote because you know what? We are passionate about what we're doing. We are driven. We do want to make things happen. So you know what? When you're talking about your company, you all know that I love to, not you all, but many of you know that I like to organize and like to have things in its right place. And that is something that I want to inspire you all today to do too. When you go home, make your workspaces fabulous. Put yourself on timeout. Put yourself on restriction. Love your family and do what you need to do for yourself at first, but then just stop and get yourself really organized so that you want to go into your workspace. So it doesn't like, oh, I've got these piles and things are falling out. It's going to take time, but my secret is I turn on the timer for like an hour, turn up the music, and just focus on it and boom, 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 bang it out. Before you know it, it's all done. Once it's done, you just have to maintain it. But at first, it's going to take some time. But take the time to make your company really great. I also want to emphasize having like your emails, all your systems. When you were sending emails to clients, it's representing your company. It's representing you. Write with proper grammar. If you don't know how to write with proper grammar, sometimes do bullet points. So you're not trying to create sentences. Write with bullet points, so it's just short, sweet. You don't have to have big, fancy emails. You could do short, sweet emails. It works. And if you don't get the spelling right, it represents you, represents your company. People are going to be afraid that their cards are not going to be written right, that Michelle with one L isn't going to have the right L. Ask your clients that. Show that you care. Ask Michelle, ask Sarah if there's an H at the end of it. Ask if Ann has an E at the end of it. We don't wait for them to tell us. We ask them. We say, oh, that's Ann. Is that Ann with an E? Oh, nobody ever asks me that. Well, guess what? I say we're all about details. So I'm going to ask you about Ann or Michelle or whatever. So I think that's really important to do. I also think, when you invest in yourself, first impressions makes a difference. This is the suit this is like my uniform that I'm wearing right now. I thought, what am I going to wear? Something fun, my leopard stuff for you all today. But you know what? For me, I thought this is what I would wear in a corporate event. This is for chamber meetings or any type of meetings. I just wear the same suit. I don't care. It's like my uniform. Get yourself something that you like that works for you and own it. You don't have to have a whole wardrobe for business. You could have something. You saw Amy with her exclamation shirt. Have your employees have shirts, brand it, because when they're out there representing you, it has your logo on it. And then if they're not stylish people, you don't like their style. I'm not going to tell you about my dream I had last night, but I was dreaming about employees. Sue woke me up this morning. It's time for us to get up. And I was dreaming about employees wearing really bad outfits, like let's just say raunchy. And I said, Sue, oh my gosh, I was dreaming about these employees and they're wearing raunchy. And I just said, oh my gosh. So I was dreaming about being up here today. And so we're not going to go anymore. Oh yeah, that might have been part of, it was a duo here. Yeah. So, get your systems into place. Accounting. The first thing you need to do also when you're starting your company is accounting systems. And Terry and Wally have a great system, FastWorks in the back, and check that out. See if that's something that would be great for your company. There's so many different accounting systems. Get something because you never know when you're going to be audited. Things happen. Let me just tell you, you think it's not going to happen to you, and it can happen to you. And you want to be ready. You can't go back to make it up. So now with technologies, there's no reason why you don't have everything in place. And then at the end of the year, wrap it up, put it in a box, label it, be done with it. Start the new year fresh. So we've talked about investing in your company with the gifting programs. You know what? That's something that we do at our shop. You want to put the gifting programs together, just like Deborah was saying yesterday. Those are the bread and butter to your business. So with the realtors or whatever it is, invest in your company through all the different programs that you can. And whether it's networking, whether it's giving back to the community, these are things that are all really great and important to do. I have a policy for donations that when people want a donation, because I'm sure all of you get requests all the time. And so I always say, I have a policy that if you spend $1,000 or more with my company, we'll be happy to donate to a charity of your choice. And then the person that's calling is a nonprofit, and they're like, oh, well, we don't have any money. We're a nonprofit. We're just having a great, let's just call it a walk that they're having, and they just need some raffle prizes. Well, we're small business people. And even if we're big business people, it's the bottom line. So they say, well, we can't afford it. I said, I understand that you can't afford it, but guess what? And they say, what? I said, you have a board of directors. And all those people on the board of directors are polished professionals that are giving back to their community, that are on the board, and most of them are well-to-do. Those people could learn about our companies, and they could buy from us, and then that could be part of that $1,000. So you know what? What really happens is that the person that just called me for the freebie isn't telling the board of directors about me, and we never hear from them. So that's give from your heart. So I'm gonna wrap it up with the next slide. So in summary, this is what I stand for. Live joyfully, love generously, care deeply, speak kindly, and be grateful. And before I completely sign off, I have to remove the little leopard tissue because I believe in each one of you, and everywhere I go, I like to have a little favor. So I've made a little key for each one of you, and I've personalized it. So come up and meet me, and I'll give you your personalized key to success. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Fabulous. Isn't that a great story? Yeah. Yep. Fantastic. There are 6 of these books left in the back. Claudia is one of the authors. There are, 7 of the authors that wrote a chapter in this book are here. Probably could get them to sign your book. Maybe it'll be worth something. You think? Sure. Anyways, there's 6 of these left in the back. If anybody wants one, they're $24. Oh, and Mary Ann has 3, so we have even more. So don't rush to the table, but rush to the table and get one. Okay, we are going to go ahead and break now for the trade show. So virtual, we will see you back here at 1 o'clock. And everybody else, please go spend your child's education money and have a great day.